Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to create a recipe in the new Ekos, and while we do that, we'll go over the new recipe steps that they've integrated. So it starts off very much the same as it used to be. Go to the product tabs, add a new product. Put in test beer. Now here it's all the same. You're just gonna put in all your classifications. And then put in all the info you need, but this is just a placeholder beer, so I'm not going to add any of this here. So now that we have the product created, I have created templates for recipes. And you can see I created a template for dry hopped beer and for non-dry hopped beer. So today we'll be making an IPA recipe. So you're going to want to go to the dry hopped beer template, select recipes, and let's do a 30 barrel batch at production. And you can see here the recipe layout is different. It is now a series of tasks that are executed in order. And it starts with a brewhouse turn that has a mash. You see that the mash is going to consume ingredients that we haven't put in yet, but it's going to create a wort whip item. And the boil is going to take that same wort whip item, it's going to add more ingredients to it and then create the same whip item with the additional ingredients that are added in the boil. We have a gravity reading for original gravity of each turn. And then this transfer task will pull that wort whip item and then create green beer whip item in the fermenter. So aggregate whip transition is a step that will take all of those individual turns. So in this case, it would be 30 barrels. So if we did 4 turns and we had 120 barrels in that fermenter, you would have 4 30 barrel green whip items. This step will take those and combine them together into one 120 barrel whip item. And when you create your brew house plan, you just put in 4 turns, and this will automatically scale to 120 barrels. All right, so here you'll have a daily fermentation log. Then we have a dry hop step that you can see consumes green beer, and we'll add hops here, and then it'll produce the same green beer whip, but with the dry hops added. We have a centrifuge transfer step that will move that green beer to a bright tank, and then release by QA once the beer has produced or has passed all quality assurance checks. We will then transform this green beer into bright beer. And then you can add your packaging after that. And then once packaging is completed, we'll close the batch. So the easiest way to create a new recipe is to copy the template recipe here, depending on what kind of beer you're making. So we'll just click on this and go copy project. And delete that. We're going to look for our test beer that we just made. And then we're going to keep the barrelage and everything the same. So once we've done that, we can now go to our test beer product. I'm going to view it and then go down to our recipes tab, and you'll see that there is now a blank recipe here for us to add ingredients to. So our brewhouse turn here is going to be starting with the mash step. So click on the mash step to add ingredients. All right, and you can see that wort whip item All right, and you can see that wort whip item output is already created. We just have to add our inputs. So I like to click on just view all items, but you can go individually by the type as well. So we can put in some base malt. And if you just go and delete this, you can check the box and continue to add more items. So if we want to do some Vienna, so there we go. We got a typical stuff here for a regular IPA. So we'd say like 1,800 pounds. Say like 110. So that'll save. And now you have your mash ingredients entered here. To do that, you can go to your boil ingredients. This one we'll just do a whirlpool hop. Galaxy. Alright, so if you wanted to do a knockout dry hop, you could add that component here because you're going to be combining that dry hop with the green beer in the fermenter. So we can go here, add component. Let's say I want my total knockout dry hop to be 44 pounds, but we're going to do 4 turns. So what we can do is go and put in 11 pounds here because when we do 4 turns of this beer, that'll equal 44 in the tank. For our aggregate work transition, we don't really need to change this. This is just combining those individual green whips into one large green whip. Fermentation log stays the same. If I want to do a secondary dry hop, you're going to do the same thing as you did for that knockout dry hop. So if I want to do, let's say, 132 pound total dry hop of Citra, and here I'm going to do 44 because I'm going to do 4 turns and that'll be aggregated after I plan my brew. And centrifuge transfer, you can see, is just green to green. At least by QA is going to transfer that green beer into bright beer, which packaging plant will then consume. So that is how you create a plan or a recipe, and if you need to create a different size recipe, I have included templates for each location for these two different types of beer.